Welcome to 2021. When we turn the calendar year over, we typically get reflective, right? We start to ask questions. What's this all about? Where am I going? What's the reason I'm here? It's easy to find people everywhere talking about purpose or writing about purpose or encouraging you to find your purpose, right? But what if the quest for purpose was simpler than we make it? Is there a problem in the world that bothers you consistently? Of course there is. You're already complaining about it. You've probably talked about it a lot. So do you ever think of a solution for that problem? And do those solutions ever involve you? Could it be that simple? Could it be purpose is really that simple, to ask those questions and come up with your own answers to them? I have a friend who is an expert in childhood development. She can help any parent on the planet with their child in whatever stage they're in. She also runs a group of child care workers who work with preschool young children. But she also has this passion to save our oceans. She knows that plastics are corroding our environment, and so she purposely drinks from a metal straw. She takes it with her everywhere. She refuses plastic straws, and in an effort to do that, she gets opportunity to educate people about plastics and all of that. Those seem very different, to worry about the planet and plastics and then help children and their families. But those are her purposes. And if you drill down a little farther, you discover it's really about moving us all forward. The people in her world forward, the globe forward, it's moving us forward. I have another friend who's in the clothing industry. She started as a young kid, just kind of her own fashionista doing her own thing. She was kind of creating whatever she was given. She was reforming, remaking, and she eventually educated herself about the clothing industry, discovered that mass production of clothing, behind the scene there, is a lot of poor labor practices, even childhood labor, laborers who are working 18-hour days, all that. She began to educate herself, then she began to educate others about that industry and what they could do in the wake of that. Then she started making her own clothes. Then she started making clothes for her friends, and now she owns a boutique. So you see, her purpose has woven all the way through there, but every season was a little different, and it was just what was right in front of her. So asking what is your purpose, it's an interesting question for sure, and something to sit with. But what if it carries more weight than it really should? What if what we really need to ask is something less intimidating? It just feels so intimidating and crippling. We can get stifled with that big question, what am I supposed to do for the rest of my life? What if it isn't mysterious? What if we don't have to search for it our whole life, but instead it could be right in front of us on a day-to-day basis? What if we asked, what is my purpose today? What is my purpose for this season? Most of us, especially women, are multitaskers, right? We have lots of things we can do. We don't just do one thing. We have big capacity. So forcing all of that capacity into one idea, one purpose, one objective, one thing might not be fair. It might not even be wise. So yes, we definitely have a purpose. We're all here, put here for a very specific purpose. And the way we fulfill that shifts from day to day, season to season. So one clue I know I can give you about purpose is that your purpose, whatever it is, it's about impact, how you impact others. So when you began to search for this, begin to think about impact of others. Those two examples I gave you, my two friends, it was about how they were impacting others. Maybe the best way, at least one way, to uncover more about our own purpose is to ask this question: what do I have to offer the world as a result of my own story? What do I have to offer the world as a result of my own story? That's a question I want you to wrestle with and think about as you look at purpose in your life. Well, now 2020 has dealt us a lot of shifting, a lot of changing, a lot of transition. Some of you are not in a place where you can even think about purpose because you're just trying to navigate all the shifting in your life. And if that's the case, I have a PDF about navigating transition. I'll put that link in the comments so that you can pick that up if that's where you're at. I don't want you to start with this question. I want you to start just moving through the transition you're in. I'm Michele Gooch with Life by Design. Join me Wednesdays at 1 on Facebook, and we're going to talk next week about how our values inform our purpose. We'll keep digging on this topic of purpose in the month of January. At Life by Design, we know that you want to live your life on purpose. We know you want to live it according to your design, and what keeps getting in the way, the problem is that we sometimes don't know who we are, and that makes us feel like we're not enough. We don't have what it takes, right? And I've been there, done that. I know how weighed down that feels. I know how much you second guess yourself. So I have a framework to move you from second guessing to where you want to go, or at least the direction, progress on where you want to go. If you're interested in that, you can find me at lifebydesign.guru, lifebydesign.guru. See you next Wednesday.